Level 1. The outsider. You don't belong here. At least, that's what it feels like. The email says, Executive Office Building, 9:30 a.m., formal attire. You read it 3 times. You're not a politician. You've never run a campaign. You've never even been inside the White House. You're just someone who studies power from the outside. You land in Washington, D.C. with 1 suitcase and a racing mind. What if they realize you're not ready? What if this was a mistake? What if you're the least qualified person they've ever interviewed? The building doesn't look dramatic. No movie music, no slow-motion flags, just security checkpoints, serious faces, silence. Your phone is taken, your ID scanned. You're handed a temporary badge with your photo slightly off-center. You stare at it. This is real. You sit in a waiting room with 5 other candidates. 1 went to Harvard, 1 worked on a Senate campaign, 1 casually mentions advising a Fortune 500 CEO. You Google them in your head. You compare yourself. You shrink. Your name is called. The interview room is colder than it should be. 2 senior advisors sit across from you. No smiles, no small talk. Why do you want this role? Your throat tightens. You could say power. You could say influence. You could say impact. Instead, you say the truth, because decisions at this level affect millions of people, and most of them are made without understanding how regular people think. They don't react. They just write something down. For an hour, they test you, not your knowledge, your judgment. What would you do if the president wants to announce a policy that polls terribly but is morally right? What if the data says one thing but public emotion says another? What if you're certain your advice will be ignored? There are no correct answers, only consequences.
You leave unsure if you impressed them or embarrassed yourself. 2 weeks later, you get a call. You're in. Probationary period. Don't post about it. That's it. No celebration, no announcement. You tell your family you got a policy role. You don't explain further, because you can't. First day, you walk past portraits of former presidents. Abraham Lincoln, John F. Kennedy, Barack Obama. You wonder how many invisible people shaped their decisions. You're assigned a desk, not in the main office, not near the windows. Close enough to observe, far enough to stay quiet. Your job description is vague. Strategic research support, which really means read everything, say nothing. Notice what others miss. The first week is overwhelming. Briefings full of acronyms you don't understand. Meetings where people speak in confident half-sentences. Conversations that assume you already know the backstory. You don't. You take notes obsessively. You stay late. You go home mentally exhausted. At 2 a.m., you replay conversations in your head. Why did that advisor hesitate before answering? Why did the communications director avoid that question? Why did the president pause at that specific line? You start seeing patterns. Power isn't about who talks the most, it's about who frames the decision. You're still the new person, still unsure, still slightly intimidated, but now you know you're not just observing history anymore, you're standing close enough to touch it, and this is only level 1.